Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Peggy. So today I'm going to tell you guys how I make my money. So I'm not rich, but I'm comfortable. Yeah. And how have I done that? The key thing for me has been saving. That is what I started with. Like, I've done so many jobs, but my key thing has been saving. And it reached a time when I was in a situation where I didn't have a job, but I had my savings. So I was like, okay, what are you going to do now? What are you going to do? And that was 2015. That was 2015. I was in Uganda for 1 year and 9 months. But I was not about to go ask for a job. You know, I was working in Uganda, and I was working in UK prior to that. And when I was in Uganda, I was like, no, I'm not, because I've always been business oriented. You know, I've done so many businesses. Oh my God, I've done so many businesses, and I've lost a lot of money. I've made a lot of money, but I've also lost a lot of money. So for me, it was that time where I was like, okay, Peg, what are you going to do? Because I remember a friend I had then, she was like, oh, Peg, you have a diploma in health. There is a friend of mine who owns a hospital, some international hospital in Uganda. They can give you a job. And I'm like, how much are they paying me? And she was like, oh, you can go talk with him and see what he says, but he mentioned they can start with 1 million Ugandan shillings. Now, don't get me wrong, guys, that is very good money. That is very good money. But I've paid my dues. I have. I've worked so hard since I was 14, and I was not about to work for anybody and earn 1 million Ugandan shillings. I was not about to do that. I would rather sell tomatoes, onions, than do that. And I'm not picky when it comes to jobs. I'm not. I would do anything to make a living. I would. But I guess as we grow up, as we go through so many things in life, we get onto different standards. And for me, I've reached that point when I say to myself, if I ever have to work for 5 millions and below, I'm not working. I'm not being arrogant or anything, guys. There's so many people who would be like grateful to make that. But no, I would not. I would not. If I'm making that in my own business, I'm so happy, because I know I'm growing something that is mine. You understand? But I'm not going to waste away my life growing someone's business. No, I'm not going to do that. Not anymore. I've done that. I've paid my dues. I'm looking at business right now, you know? Okay. Where was I? So, okay. How I make my money, how how I've achieved the little that I have. So I was like, what am I going to do? And this is where my savings came in. I was like, okay. There was a friend of mine. I was like, let me look for land. What I wanted to get into farming, because for us, we grew up farming at home. You know, we reared cattle, we had pigs, and we had food, we were growing, we had crops, so many crops we were growing. So we grew up as farmers, and that is in my blood. That is one thing I'm so passionate about. And even prior to that, going back to Uganda, 2015, I was telling my husband, you know what? I think I'm done. I'm done working for people. I want to go home. I wanted to get into farming. So when this happened and I was in Uganda, I was like, let me look for land. The idea was to grow maize. Thank God, there was a guy who wanted to sell his land chap. I think he was coming abroad, one of the countries, I don't know, to one of the European countries or American countries, something like that. So he sold me his land at a very cheap price. He sold me 5 acres, that was in Bombo, 5 acres, and each acre was 5 million. Oh, I was so energetic, I was so happy, and I went all in. I didn't know what I was doing. I've always done business, but on a very small scale. Now I was dealing with 5 acres. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't budget for everything. I didn't plan. I didn't calculate anything. I just knew I had money in the bank and I can do this. I can clear the land and I can start growing maize. You know, I didn't plan that, oh, Peggy, you are in Uganda. The chia season is going to come. You know, the sunny season is going to come. You need a water source. You know, all these things. You need a pump. You know, how many personnel are you going to have? How much are you going to pay them? You know, in case you're not there, are you going to get a farm manager or what? These things, I did not look into them. I did not research onto them. I just went in there. Anyhow, I buy my land. I got my title. At least I had the brain that told me, you know what? Make sure whatever you do, buy land with the land title. So I got my prisoners from Bombo prison, and I hired them to clear the land for me, to uproot the big trees, not the big trees, but the small trees, because I wanted to bring the tractor next to clear the land. We did that, it was done. I got the tractor, it came, it cleared all the land. By the time I finished, I looked into my account. I was scared. I was like, okay. I was not broke, but I started now planning. After spending a lot of money, I'm like, okay, what are you going to do now? I paused a bit. Now to plan. And while I was doing that, I got a friend of mine who is a friend of mine now from NADS. This guy came because I had cleared it so well. You guys, I'm telling you, doing something wholeheartedly will make you a lot of money in life. You know, whatever that is, even if it's a job, it will make you a lot of money. This guy came because of the way I had cleared the land, you know. He offered me 12 million per acre. I was like, and this was still in the space of 1 month that I had bought the land in. I was like, what? I'm going to make 7 millions off of this land. Obviously, I had invested in the money I had put in to clear the land, blah, blah, blah. But still, I just sold it off. Guys, I was so happy. And that is where it all started. That is how I got into my buying land and selling it. So that is one thing I do. I buy land and I sell it. And when I sold that, I got my both 60 millions. This guy was so good. I think he has a lot of money anyway. So he paid off the blockers for me. I had to just give them some coins, just a little bit to appreciate. So I kept the most of my money to myself. Yes. I went on to another project, bought another land, sold it, bought another one, sold it, and that is how I got into that. So I do that. And the other thing I do, a healthcare assistant. I'm a healthcare assistant here in UK. When I had my goal was to become a nurse, you know, and I even did access to nursing halfway. As I was doing it anyway, what really turned me off was the money and also the hours I worked. I used to work like 12 hours and a half in the NHS. And the bullying that was there, I have a mouth on me. You beat me, I beat you. You laugh, I laugh back. You love me, I love you. You hate me, I hate you. So that was a whole another energy, and I was like, no, I can't do this. So after seeing all of that, and while doing that, and I knew I'm going to, the access course was going to be 1 year. Was it 8 months, 9 months, something like that. And I'm like, on top of that, I was going to do 3 years of nursing, and then I wanted to do another 1 year because I wanted to become a midwife. And I'm like, Peggy, a midwife? Yeah, a midwife. Yeah, I was going to do another degree. Yeah, it's a degree. Yeah, to become a midwife. And then on top of that, I wanted to do another one to become a district, not a district nurse. Yeah, it's a district nurse where you go door to door looking after patients in their own homes. That is what my goal was, because one, it has the freedom when you're a district nurse. You choose your hours, and it's very good money. For me, I always look at good money, my dear. Yes, I have the passion. I love people. I love helping out people. But if I don't see the money, So in nursing, I'm like, I graduate and then I start earning. Do they start with 21,000 per year or 25,000 per year in the NHS? And I'm like, I studied for all this time and then I make this money. It was not adding up, and I was going to pay for my own fees, you know, because they consider me as an international student. And even if I wasn't considered as an international student. I was not about to get a loan. No. The only way I've managed to have what I have in life, I avoid loans. I avoid loans. If I cannot afford something, I don't buy it. I wait until I can afford it. So, that, I was like, I'm not going to do it. And then in the NHS, I was making about £2,000. No, my regular hours, I was working like 3 to 4 days a week, and that was like 1,500 per month. And then I'm a girl who worked Monday to Monday extra work. I did extra work because I could not afford just earning 1,500. I was like, I'm still young, I still have the energy. Let me go work. And I worked, and I would make 2,100 after the taxes and everything. I was employed then. But that was before I went back to Uganda in 2015. When I came back to UK in 2017 in August, I got another job in another hospital. And this was outside London. So they pay differently. If you work outside London, you don't get the allowances that you get working in London. So I did not look into this properly. I did not read the contract properly. Now I work at the end of the month. They pay me 1,200. I was like, not me. The good thing about me, I'm flexible. And I don't have shame in my game. If I'm not happy with something, I change it. And this is, it applies everywhere in my life. Be it friends, even a family member. Name it. Even if it's my man. If I'm not happy and it's not working and the man is not putting in efforts, I'll move. I don't care how many years we've been together. I'll move. I'll walk. So I was like, no, I can't do this. And I was not happy at the job. I used to wake up at 5, come back home at 11. I was working Monday to Monday. I was like, no. And I wasn't seeing the money. The bullying. You guys, the bullying that is in NHS, it's out of this world. Your fellow healthcare assistants are going to bully you. And you're like, Bray. What makes you think you can bully me? Even if you were a nurse. If I don't believe, even if you're a doctor, even if you are who, even if you're a manager, if I believe what you're saying to me is not okay, I'll stand up for myself. I will. So anyway, that is a story for another day. So I went back. I was still not happy, but I was looking into options. What can I do? But meanwhile, my car business in Uganda was always going on. Because it's so easy, you guys who are here from other countries, it's so easy. You doing business in real estate. You just buy your land, you partition it, and you keep your land titles. You show brokers, this is my land. When they sell, when they get a buyer, they contact you, and you just go sign everything. You get your car money, and you come back. So for me, I've always done that, and it has always worked for me. So I was still looking, what can I do? Because I believe in creating multiple incomes. If this is not working, this plan B will work, plan C will work. I was like, okay. I looked into other options, and I was like, living, doing, being a healthcare assistant, but you're doing it for only one client in their own home. So it's up to you. If you want to work for the client for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 2 months, 6 months, whatever you want. It depends on the company you are working for. And you can be self-employed or employed. It's a long story. I'll tell you about it another day. Those of you who are interested, you can comment down below and let me know which topic you are interested in, and I'll tackle it. So I was like, leaving, okay. I looked around, so many companies, how much they were offering, the distance, and I had to speak with my husband as well, because of course I'm married. I have to consider my marriage, and I'm like, how am I going to go about this? And thank God for my husband, you guys. My husband is very understanding. Very understanding. My husband is very supportive. This guy has supported everything I do. He has. Businesses, buying things from China, doing that. He's always supported me. So you guys, God blessed me with a very supportive man. He's very supportive. So we sat down. We spoke about everything. He was like, it's okay, Peggy. It's okay. One thing my husband told me when we met, and that was 2012, the summer of 2012. He told me he doesn't want a woman who cannot fend for themselves. Because what if he passes away tomorrow? God forbid he passes away tomorrow and we have kids, I cannot look after them. My husband makes very good money. I'm not bragging, just saying. He makes very good money. You know, he's doing procurement executive, so he makes very good money. So I can be like, okay, let me just sit down and he makes the money, I pop my kids and life goes on. No. And I also told him when I met him, I needed 10 years. 10 years, because when I met him I was 20. I'm 29 now. So I told him I needed 10 years to get my life together, you know, career-wise. He was like, okay, a story up for another day. Let's go back to the topic. So we spoke and he was like, okay, I'll come visit, see you during your break time, and because we get 2 hours off per day, which is good, and I can always go back home and see him for like 1 week, 2 weeks and come back, which I do. So I can work like, for now, like I can work for like a month and then go back and see him for 1 week and come back to work, depending. If he misses me, he will be like, oh, I miss you, or I miss him, and then I'll run back and we see each other and then come back. Okay. And I compared all these jobs around. Nothing was going to make me good money than leaving work. Let's talk numbers. Because you guys, for me, I'm an open book. I don't lie. I don't hide anything. Because if everyone is doing well, then I don't have to support anybody. You know? I don't have to worry about anybody. It's the same thing I do with my sisters, everyone who needs help in my family or my friends. It's very rare for me to give out money like that. Unless you come to me and you're like, Peggy, this is the plan I have. I have this much. can you add this much for me? I start my business or I do this. That I understand. But don't come to me and be like, oh, I need 100,000 to go for shopping or this and this. And you think you're going to come back next week and do the same thing and next week and do the same thing. No, it doesn't work for me like that. They don't give me money for free. So I don't give it out for free like that. I'll help you once, twice, the fourth time. It will not work. So, numbers. Live-in work that I got, the first job I got, the company I was working with one client was £550 per week. So let's say if the rate is on 4,700, 550 times 4,700 Ugandan money, that is 2.5 a week, times 4, that is 10M, 10.3. Very good money. And then for 2 clients, that company was paying £700 per week. £700 per week, 700 times 4 equals £2,800 per month times 4,700 Ugandan money. Exchange rate, that is 13 million, 13.1. Very good money. So what I focused on was to get couples, because couples, they were paying £700 per week, and I focused on getting couples. It's hard work. It's not easy to work for a couple, you know, but I was like, I was going to do it. So I focused on that. I made my money, but unfortunately all the money that I made in the first year from that particular company, it was stolen. I did a business and it went south. They stole, that person borrowed 70 millions and he was supposed to give me back 100 millions. So that he never gave back that money. It's a story for another day. I'll speak about it another day. So anyway, that company, I kept doing other research on other companies and everything, and I found out other companies were paying more. I was like, okay, you are taking advantage of me. They were not giving me transport. And you guys, the benefits of doing live-in work is that the client pays for your food, they pay for your housing. So literally, I pay for nothing. My money is clean, and I'm self-employed. So meaning I pay for my taxes, but I pay for them once a year, and that is at the end of April there. That is when. So by the time I pay for my taxes, I've used my money. I've invested it in Uganda, in my real estate business, and I've multiplied it. Now, paying my taxes, I'm like, I'm okay with it. I'm more than happy to pay for my taxes, you know. Other than working for someone, being employed, they are using my money. They are using my tax money, and that doesn't work for me. That is why I work with companies where I can be self-employed. So this company was taking advantage of me. I applied to another company. This company was paying, you guys, this company was paying 798.99 per week for one client. So meaning 2 clients, they pay 900, 1,000, but it's difficult to get 2 clients with the company I'm with, because I've not seen it. It's there, but I've not seen it. So this company was giving me, for starters, the client I was working with was quite difficult and all of that. I was getting £800. Is it 800 something pounds? I was like, ooh. I had never earned such money in UK. So £800, let's say it's £800. 800 times 4,700 Ugandan money rate exchange. That is 3 millions, 3.7 times 4, that is 15 millions. I was like, oh, okay. So those are my sources of income right now. Though I'm working on other projects, I'll update you. I'm working on other projects, and that is why I started YouTube. If you guys can support me at some point, YouTube will pay me, and that is another source of income. So you guys, why am I here telling you this? Creating multiple incomes for yourself will save you. You will never lack. If God blesses you, if God blesses the hands of your work, you will never lack. If you put in the hard work, you know, if you put in the hard work, if you don't give up, because there are so many things that I've done and lost money. Had I given up, I would not be where I'm at today. But I did not. I fell down, I got up several times. I lost a lot of money. I've not only lost the 100 millions, I've lost so much money. You know, there are so many people I helped out with money, but right now we are not friends. Right now we are not talking, and all of that money, for me, it's the worst. It was a wrong investment. But you know what? I keep getting up. I don't care how many times you knock me down. I get up, and each time I get up stronger than I was. So don't care about the naysayers. Do your thing. Do your thing, and let the success make the noise for you. Don't pretend to be anyone else. Don't live beyond your means. Live within your means and save. Invest. Even if you buy the Kaland there in Luwero down there for 2 millions, you never know. After a year, you might get someone who is buying it from you at 5 millions. That is a profit of 3 millions. So wherever you are, just start where you are. I remember, you guys, I'm here where I am in my career in UK because of myself and God. I'm self-made. I've done everything by myself. I remember I started off, I was like, Uganda was not doing it for me. They were paying me 5,000 shillings per day for waitressing. What did I do? I sold off everything in my house. Ate, what did I have even? I had my bed. I had my dishes, but my bed was expensive. I remember I had bought it 400,000 Ugandan shillings, and I sold it off at 300,000 shillings. And I left Uganda. I went to Juba. I got a job, started working. That is where I got my opportunities to come to this country. But you have to position yourself in a way of opportunities. They are not going to find you in your house. They are not going to find you in your bed whinging about what you've lost, or about what you would have been. No, it's not going to happen like that. Plant a seed, water it, wait for God to bless it. It will grow. It will grow. it will grow. I'm not where I want to be, but I tell you, if God gives me life and I'm able, I will work until I cannot. It doesn't matter which position you are in. Doesn't matter. You can do anything. You can start where you are. No one is started where they are. No one. Everyone started somewhere. They just don't tell you their stories. So that is from me, guys. I'm happy to help out. If you have any questions, if you need any help, not financially, don't inbox me asking me for money. But for advice, yes, I'm happy to. Okay? Okay. You guys take care of yourselves and be safe. Please don't forget to subscribe. Like my video, comment, or even thumbs it down. It motivates me to do better, to come back with better content. So anything, just do something for me. Okay. Thank you very much. I love you guys. God bless you. Stay safe. Bye.